friend that thinks they're an expert. It's the friend that you turn to when you need help with something like fashion advice, relationship help, who to put on the bench this week for your fantasy football team. It's the friend that you want on your team, whether it's a video game or a pickup game of basketball in your driveway. It's the friend that actually knows how to do the TikTok dances, the one that thinks they know it all. I bet you have one of those friends. Why don't actually right now you type into the chat, the comment, in your Zoom call, or lean over to the person next to you and tell them who is your expert friend and what are they the expert at. When I was in middle school, her name was Robin. I turned to Robin for anything pop culture. I knew nothing. I was so clueless when someone would name an artist, an actor, that TV show, or that line that you were supposed to understand, that phrase. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't have Google or YouTube, but thankfully I had the expert friend named Robin. She saved me a lot of embarrassment in middle school. Now here's the thing about finding an expert friend. How do you know if what they are telling you is trustworthy, is actually a good source? See, where you get your information from really matters. And you guys know this. There is information everywhere. Your teachers stress this to you, not to get resources from stuff that doesn't make sense or things that are not reliable. Is that TikTok video really true? That Google search you just did, is it actually not fake news? We live in a world right now that figuring out if our source is trustworthy really matters. We are in desperate need to find that trustworthy source. Last week, Matt started in on our series around Daniel, and he shared with us how Daniel and his friends would not conform to the ways of the Babylonians, that they were able to stand true to who they were, not just because of all the pressures around them, but because they knew who they belonged to, the one true God. And as we move into Daniel chapter 2 this week, we learn something about the king, King Nebuchadnezzar. See, the king always wanted to have the smartest people around him. He would train people up, including Daniel and his friends, to have all of the information possible. He wanted only experts to be near him, and Daniel was one of them. See, God had actually given Daniel a pretty cool gift. It was the ability to interpret dreams and visions. I mean, that sounds pretty awesome, but it's not like a superpower and Daniel could just whip it out whenever he wanted to. No, God would use this for Daniel's purpose. God had given Daniel the gift of interpreting dreams and visions. I mean, that sounds like a pretty sweet gift to have, but it's not really a superpower that Daniel could just use whenever he wanted to. The king, Nebuchadnezzar, has this dream, and he makes a decree that he needs his experts to interpret his dream and tell him what the dream was. But in the decree, he says if they can't do it, he will kill them all, including Daniel. So all of the experts, they start to scramble. They have fears. They think this is outrageous. How are they supposed to also know what the dream was and interpret it? And Daniel is included in this group. But Daniel's reaction is different. See, for us, I think a lot of times it's easy for us to figure out who we go to for advice when it comes to fashion or our fantasy football team. But who do you turn to when things are a little bit more difficult, when there's troubles in your family, when the anxiety you are feeling is paralyzing, when you don't know how to process your emotions or what's happening in the world right now or the challenges that you are facing? Who we turn to matters. And in this moment, we watch something unique about Daniel that reminds us of something so important, Elevate, is you don't have to figure this out alone. You don't have to figure this out alone, Elevate. That's not how you were designed to do this life. Daniel doesn't just trust himself. God has given him the gift to interpret these dreams, but he doesn't think he can do it on his own. He doesn't just say, I'm going to figure this out. How often do we say that? We think, oh, I can just do it on my own. I don't need any help. But maybe you could, but should you? We have an opportunity here to learn a different example, to have a new way forward from Daniel. See, faced with the threat of death, Daniel turns to his three friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He goes to them and he tells them everything, that this decree has been made and that their lives are at stake. Not only does he tell them what's going on, which is often all we do with our friends, he moves to something more. He doesn't stop there. He begs them and he urges them to turn to God and to pray, asking God to give Daniel the wisdom to know the dream and interpret it. They all pray, asking God for wisdom, and listen to what happens next. The king said to Daniel, also known as Belteshazzar, "Is this true? Can you tell me what my dream was and what it means?" Daniel replied, "There are no wise men, enchanters, magicians, or fortune tellers who reveal the king's secret. But there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets, and he has shown King Nebuchadnezzar what will happen in the future." In other words, there are no experts, no one who can figure it out on their own. But there is a God. There is a trusted source. He is our God who shows up and answers our prayers and gives us wisdom when we ask for it. See, when we don't know what to do, when we feel stuck and things feel fuzzy and confusing, maybe even today, we can learn from the example of Daniel. We can ask God for wisdom. We can simply ask God for wisdom. See, in the book of James, the half-brother of Jesus, he tells us the exact same thing that Daniel is showing us with his life. This is what he says: "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." God gives wisdom generously. We were never meant to be the experts. So Elevate, where do you need wisdom right now? Is it in a family situation? Is it how to process the emotions that you have, feelings around injustice and racial inequality? Is it how to process what you believe about the world right now? We can ask God for wisdom. But Daniel doesn't just ask God. He asks his friends too. Not because they are experts, but because they have access to God. They can pray to God for wisdom too. Here's the second example from Daniel that we can follow. Ask your friends to pray for you. It's that simple. See, you are with a circle of people, probably right now, your small group, that you are all hearing the same message. And what if the things that we are carrying, the challenges that we have, the stuff that we're trying to figure out, we don't have to figure out alone, that we can talk to God about it, but we can actually ask our friends in this circle to talk to God about it on our behalf, to pray for us. And I don't mean that end of your small group prayer when your small group leader asks somebody to pray and it's like crickets. No, I'm talking about like the middle of the week. You need wisdom prayer to text your group, to reach out to them and say, will you pray for me about this? When I started to do this in my life, you know what? I felt anxious and nervous because how would my friends react if I told them what were my challenges and what was I going through and where did I need wisdom? But here's what happened as my friends started to pray for me. I realized I was not alone, that God was hearing my prayers, but God was also hearing their prayers, and he would show up as he heard their prayers. It's one of the biggest honors to have somebody pray for you, but sometimes at Elevate, we need to actually ask our friends to pray for us. Okay, back to Daniel and King Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel approaches the king with the interpretation of the dream, and what he says still stands today. He tells the king that his empire will fall, that there will only be one kingdom that lasts forever, and it is God's. Friends, right now in our world, post-election, we need to remember this. God's kingdom is what lasts. We can have our opinions, we can have our ideas, our thoughts, but we cannot trust in a party or a president. We can only trust in God. In order for us to navigate the complex world we live in today, we need wisdom outside of ourselves and outside of the kingdoms of this world. We need a trusted source, and we have that source in God alone. Elevate, here is my challenge for you today, to follow the example of Daniel, to ask God for wisdom and to ask your friends to pray for you. And this is really good news, that we don't have to be the experts, that we have a God who knows all, sees all, loves all of us, and whose kingdom will never fail.